Hello everyone. In this video we are going to study about DNA replication and gene mutation. So first one is the DNA replication. DNA replication is the process by which a cell duplicates in its DNA before cell division. This crucial process ensures that each daughter cell receives an identical copy of the genetic information. It occurs during the synthesis phase of the cell cycle in the both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Let's go through the steps of DNA replication in the detail. First step is the initiation. Replication begins at the specific site called origin of replication. In prokaryotes, there is a usually single origin, while eukaryotes have a multiple origins on each chromosomes. Enzymes called helicases unwind and separate the DNA double helix and forming a replication fork. Second step is a DNA helicase unwinding. A helicase enzyme breaks hydrogen bond between the complementary base pair, causing two strands to unwind and separate at the replication fork. This creates two single-stranded DNA template known as the leading strand and the lagging strand. Third step is the priming and formation of RNA primers. DNA polymerase, the enzyme responsible for synthesizing a new DNA strand, required a short RNA primer to begin replication. An enzyme called primase synthesizes RNA primase on the both leading and lagging strand. Third step is the elongation of the leading strand. DNA polymerase third, the main DNA polymerase in prokaryotic, for example bacteria, starts adding the nucleotides to the third end of the RNA primer on the leading strand. The leading strand is synthesized continuously in the 5' to 3' direction, the same direction as the replication fork movement, resulting in a continuous new DNA strand. Fifth step is the elongation of the lagging strand. Since the lagging strand template is oriented in the opposite direction of the replication fork movement, DNA polymerase third cannot synthesize it continuously. Instead, the lagging strand is synthesized in the short segment called Okazaki fragments. The DNA polymerase third add nucleotides to the 3' end of each RNA primer on the lagging strand, synthesizing a short fragments in the 5' to 3' direction. After DNA polymerase third completes on Okazaki fragment, it moves to the next RNA primer and continues the process. Sixth step is a removal of the RNA primer and gap filling. The RNA primer on the both leading and lagging strand need to be removed and replaced with the DNA nucleotide. An enzyme called DNA polymerase first remove the RNA primer and fill the resulting gaps with DNA nucleotides. Next step is the joining fragments. The newly synthesized Okazaki fragments on the lagging strands are still separate from each other. An enzyme called DNA ligase joins the fragments together, creating a continuous DNA strand. Next step is the termination. DNA replication is completed when the entire DNA molecule is copied. This result is two identical DNA molecules, each composed of one is original, that is parental strand, and one is newly synthesized, that is daughter strand. The DNA replication is a highly accurate process due to the proofreading ability of the DNA polymerase. They can detect and correct errors in the newly synthesized DNA strand, ensuring the minimal mistakes in the genetic code. This precise replication is crucial for the faithful transmission of the genetic information from one generation of the cell to the next. Next topic is the gene mutation. Gene mutation are the changes or alterations that occur in the DNA sequence of an organism genome. These mutations can be caused by the various factors and they play a fundamental role in evolution and the diversity of life. Mutation can occur in both somatic cells, that is non-reproductive cell, and germ cell, that is reproductive cell. However, mutation in germ cells are particularly significant as they can be passed on to offspring and affect the entire population. Let's explain detail on the genetic mutation. The types of mutation. First one is the point mutation. These are the most common type of mutation and involve the substitution, insertion or deletion of a single nucleotide in the DNA sequence. Point mutation can lead to different effects depending on their location and the specific alteration they cause. It includes the substitution, insertion, deletion. In substitution, one nucleotide is replaced by another, which can result in a different amino acid being incorporated into the protein during translation. Next is the insertion. An extra nucleotide is inserted into DNA sequence which shifts the reading frame and can significantly alter the resulting protein. Next is the deletion. A nucleotide is removed from the DNA sequence, also causing a shift in the reading frame and potentially changing the protein's function. Next is a frame shift mutation. This mutation occurs when insertion or deletion of the nucleotide shift the reading frame of the genetic code, leading to the non-functional or proteins. Next is a repeat expansion. In some region of the genome, certain nucleotide sequences can be repeated multiple times. When these repeated sequences expand beyond a certain threshold, it can lead to various disorders. Next is the cause of mutation. First is the spontaneous mutation. These occur naturally during the DNA replication or other cellular process due to the intrinsic instability of a certain DNA sequences or chemical reaction. Spontaneous mutation can also from errors in the DNA repair mechanism. Next is the mutagens. These are the external factors that induce the mutation. Mutagens include mutation. Mutagens include the radiation, for example UV light, X-rays, certain chemicals, example cigarette smoke, some pesticides and some viruses. Third one is the effect of the mutation. In that first is a silent mutation. Some point mutation don't alter the amino acid sequence as the genetic code is degenerated, meaning multiple codons can code for the same amino acid. These mutations have no effect on the protein function. Next is the missense mutation. Point mutation that change a codon leading to the incorporation of a different amino acid into the protein. This can affect the protein structure and function. Next is the nonsense mutations. Point mutation that create a premature stop codon resulting in a truncated and often non-functional protein. Next is a frame shift mutation. This mutation can severely alter the protein sequence leading to non-functional or completely different protein product. Next is the impact on phenotype. Depending on the type and location of the mutation, its impact on the phenotype can vary from noticeable effect to severe consequences, including the genetic disorder or increased susceptibility to certain diseases. Beneficial mutation can confer advantages in a specific environment. Then next is the role in evolution. The mutations are the primary source of genetic diversity, which is the raw material for the natural selection and evolution. Beneficial mutation can lead to adaptation that enhance an organism's survival and reproduction in its environment. Some mutation may have a neutral effect and can accumulate in a population over time without being subjected to the strong select pressure. It's important to note that not all mutations are harmful. Some may have no significant impact while other can be beneficial. The consequences of a mutation depend on its specific nature, the context in which occur, and the interplay with other genetic and environmental factors. In the long run, mutation contribute to the complexity and diversity life on the earth. That's all about the gene mutation. Thank you.